Hey folks, and welcome to Greg's Golf Shack and to episode 3 of my quest for better golf, where I'm trying to improve my swing as well as improve my overall fitness and health. Now this episode focuses on weeks 3 and 4 of this 10-week journey. Previous episodes I talked a little bit about some of the faults that I want to fix in my golf swing, and I highlighted a few of the drills I was doing in weeks 1 and 2, so we're going to carry on from that point. Now I think a lot of us can agree that week 3 during a self-improvement project is kind of that borderline when it can all fall apart. I mean, life gets in the way, and it's easy to just get caught up in other things. I experienced a little bit of this too. Work got really busy. I'm a college instructor, end of the semester, so there's a lot of grading to do, students to help, different things like that. I also took on a project here in the golf studio where a lot of my previous videos, you've only seen like a couple of angles from the camera, and I deliberately didn't point the camera at the other side of the studio. It was a bit of a mess and needed some work, some paint jobs and everything. So I lost a few days in the studio trying to do that. It was a lot of work. 10-foot ceilings in here, so I was up and down scaffolds and ladders, painting, moving a whole lot of heavy stuff around, but it feels good that the studio is in good shape. But nevertheless, I did my best to stay motivated. I didn't practice or exercise as much as I would have liked to, but I think I did enough to kind of keep this momentum going and keep the process developing. So let's start by looking at what I was working on with the golf swing, some of the drills I was working on, some of the things I discovered. So after a couple of weeks of mini swings, just working on my takeaway and my backswing to get into good positions, also using the hack motion to check my wrist angles since one of my big issues is overactive wrists, I wanted to take it a little bit further this week. And I realized if I'm really going to be focusing on wrist angles and the position of the club at impact, it's more than just the journey up to impact that influences the club face. It's actually the destination of the club as well. Our club is going to be influenced by where it needs to go in our swing. So I wanted to continue working on these mini swings for good starting positions, but I wanted to carry them through to a full follow through. So you can see in these examples here, I'm using both an iron and I also switched to a 4 hybrid. These are just example videos. I worked my way through the bag on different clubs, just working on these still mini sort of backswings and takeaways, but working through to a full follow through position to make sure I can get to that follow through finish. Now those drills felt pretty good. It felt like I was really moving through the swing pretty well. I wanted to start seeing where the ball was going with these results, but also start building up to a fuller swing. I don't want to focus 10 weeks on a little mini swing. Now you can see what I did with these video clips. What I wanted to do was start with the mini swing and work my way up to a full swing. But I focused on the same yardage. So I picked a yardage out here in my SkyTrack of 125 yards. And I started with the 4 hybrid to do this little mini swing with a full follow through to try to reach 125 yards. Then I switched to a 6 iron and I did the same thing. I needed a little bit of a bigger swing to get to that 125 yard mark. Then I switched to an 8 iron and again, a little bit bigger of a swing. And then I switched to a pitching wedge to try and get up to that same distance there, which required a lot more of a full swing. And you can see here, I still get a little carried away, still get a little cross the line. My wrist is a little bit cupped at the top there. So as I try to get up to that full swing, some of those issues come into play. So when looking back at the camera and seeing some of those wrist issues at the full swing, I wanted to hook up the hack motion, have a look at where my wrist angles were and try to build upon that. So I did the exact same drill using the hack motion, starting with the 4 hybrid. And of course, I'm a little bit extended there at the top and at impact because it's not a very big swing. I did the same thing with a 6 iron and I get pretty good results there. And also, you can see as I'm working on my wrist, I'm getting a little bit more of that draw shape. 8 iron, I mean, I wasn't making a perfect swing every time. I'm showing you some good ones here. I struggled a little bit with some of this. Again, I'm pulling them a little bit, so I got to figure that out. And then the pitching wedge, Took me a while to work on it, but I was able to get some good numbers, good trajectory, and good wrist angles. And you can see the comparison here between before using the hack motion and after. There is a lot flatter wrist and a little bit less of crossing the line with the shaft. So overall, I was happy with the results and the progress. I know I was drawing the ball a little bit too much, pulling the ball a little bit, but we'll get to that soon. At this point, I wasn't really doing many full swings except what you saw there with the pitching wedge. However, I did play some casual golf on the sim afterwards. So I was just reminded how easily the bad habits come back into the game. So you can see just a couple swings here. I was just playing like a par 3 course, and again, I'm getting a lot of wrist angle at the top and a little bit crossing the line. The shots are really good, but it's not really where I want to be. And this reminds me too, I'm not trying to fit myself in a specific box to have my hands and my wrist angle in an absolute position. All I'm hoping to do is reduce the excessive aspect of it and narrow it in. Find something that works for me and my unique swing that I can do consistently and play better. So the next element I worked on here to kind of sum up these 2 weeks of golf practice was to incorporate a pause at the top of my backswing and of course try to get through to a full finish. Now I find this drill really difficult because I can get to a pause at the top, but I never strike the ball very well. And I realized just starting to practice with that a little bit, the common thing for me to do is just thrust that trail hip forward. The early extension, as you might call it. And that just makes it really difficult. Because I'm paused at the top, the whole body kind of wants to lunge at the ball rather than letting everything kind of fall in place and in sequence. So once I figured that out, I started hitting some shots here, just swinging like a 7-iron to pause at the top and swing all the way through. And you'll notice I start getting this bounce of the club at the top. It kind of bounces before it stops in that position. Maybe I'm a little bit quick, so I wanted to neutralize that a little bit. So after examining it, I tried these swings again and just kind of neutralized that bounce a little bit. Had to take it back a little slower, and I was swinging well. Felt a little better, but I also noticed I was coming over the top a little bit, crossing the line. That's what was causing those pulls and those draws earlier in my practice. So I revisited this again, paused nicely at the top and really focused on kind of pulling those arms down, getting a nice inside swing. And you can see that it just comes down and through the ball with an inside out path. So that really helped improve that practice element, and I really look forward to what's coming next with the practice sessions in golf. Now, as for fitness, I did the best I could. I still was really busy, but I was able to work out at least 4 times a week, whether it be weights or cardio or something. And the results, I didn't expect to see too much results after 4 weeks, but I did notice quite a change in my body. So you can't tell too much from this. The lighting isn't the greatest, but there is a significant difference after these 4 weeks. You can really tell from this angle, my stomach, and also I'm getting a little bit stronger. Now, as far as the workouts go, for week 3, I beefed it up a little bit. Now, I didn't increase all kinds of weight. Again, I don't want to bulk up too much, but I did focus on single body parts for this week. So day 1, I focused on chest, just all chest with between sets. I did a little bit of ab work. Day 2, I focused on back alone, and between sets, I did some rowing. Day 3 was arms, so biceps and triceps together, and a little bit of abs just between sets. Followed all that with a rest day, just to give my body a chance to recuperate. Then it was a leg day, so all legs with just a little bit of rowing in between sets. And then the next day I focused on shoulders and core, so shoulders and abs really. And I backed that up with just a little bit of stretching and rest, and that was it for the week. Overall, it was a pretty hefty week. It felt really good, and I wasn't nearly as sore as the first 2 weeks. My workout in week 4 was meant to be a little bit lighter, and it kind of worked out because this is where I lost a couple of days. So I focused one day just on chest, shoulders, and triceps, all 3 body parts, just kind of a light workout with a little bit of abs in between sets. And then I had a day of kickbox cardio just to get the blood flowing. And I also had a day of back, biceps, and legs, the trio there with a little bit of rowing in between. And I backed that up with some nice yoga. Now, I'm not very good at yoga. I might not have good form, but it feels good, and I hope to improve a lot of those positions and just work on my flexibility, calm the mind. So a relatively light week there, but progress was good, and I'm going to step it up again in our next episode. So that's where we're at the end of 4 weeks. I mean, we're almost halfway through. I'm going to be stepping up the practice a little bit more, get more into the full swings, especially with some bigger clubs. And I expect that I'm going to be repeating some of my workout routines, so I probably won't show all of that in future episodes, but I might start introducing things like the diet that I'm pursuing here to help me through this process as well. I'm not really restricting myself. My wife and I generally have a healthy diet, but I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on anything. I still want to enjoy life, yet still improve on all these things. So I hope to cover that a little bit in the next episode. Folks, again, thanks for coming on this journey with me. I hope you can find some inspiration or even some ideas about drills that you would want to apply if you can identify with some of the things I'm working on. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Greg's Golf Shack.